Now that we've added in invincibility frames and damage, we're going to create a little enemy that's going to chase us around and hurt us when it touches us. So I'm going to right click, insert new object, go scroll down, sprite, and I'm going to call this enemy. Insert. And I'm just going to make something really basic. So it's just going to be... Make him a reddish colour. Yeah, I'll do something like... I want it the other way, so... Yeah. And then... border. Something like that. Again, I want to stress, I am not an artist. But I'm just going to use something basic like this. Come up here, crop transparency around edges so that it wraps the collision around him. And then that's it. He's humongous. I don't want him to be that big. If you move him next to your player, it'll give you a better idea. I want it about that big. That looks fine to me. Now, there's a couple of things that we can do here. We can give it something called a move to behavior. Under movements, we can do move to, and then in your event sheet, we can add an event, and we can do enemy, and we can do blah blah blah. Oh, sorry. I meant system. Where was I meant on start of layout? We could do enemy, add an action, move to, and we can do move to object. Sorry, that's what we're looking for. We're gonna have it move to our player, and when the level starts, it's gonna move straight towards us. But you can see it like doesn't work properly. We can add a system event that says, where is it? See, even I struggle to find things. Sorry, it's this every tick. So it means that it's always doing it. And we can say every tick, let's get our enemy to move to our player. We also need to... Well, as you've noticed, it ends up moving through walls and things like that. The move to behavior is really basic, and it will just take the closest path. If I make it solid, I've just realised this'll demonstrate better. If I make it solid, you'll see that see, now that's moving my player. It's been a little bit buggy. I don't know why he's just moving straight through the fence post, but regardless, I'm going to show you a different way to do it that's a little bit, well, it's way better because it'll actually calculate a path around obstacles and things like your tiles that have collision and whatnot. So I'm going to add a new behavior, and rather than doing move to, I'm going to do pathfinding. And in our event sheet, there's 2 steps to the pathfinding. So what we need to do is we need to tell it to periodically find a path towards the player, and when it's found it, it will move to them. So I'm actually going to do this under system. So I'm going to add event to system, and I'm going to do enemy, and no, sorry, I'm going to do, go back, I'm going to do system, and I'm going to do at the bottom every X seconds, and I'm going to put 0.1. So every 0.1 seconds, we're going to add action, enemy, go down to pathfinding, and we are going to find, where is it? Find path. And we're going to, we need to put in an X and a Y coordinate. So what we want to do is we need to find a path to our player. So we're going to do player.x, and then player.y. Now, my player sprite is just called player. So whatever you've named your player sprite is what you need to type here, and you need to make sure that it's typed exactly the way it is on there. So yours might be called character or something. You need to type that. So player X, player Y. We're going to find a path to the player, but you'll see that if I play, nothing's going to happen because we then need to tell it to actually move once it's found its path. So we're going to do enemy and then scroll down to pathfinding, and there's this one here that says on path found. So when we've found path, we're going to add action to our enemy, scroll down. Be careful here because there's a pathfinding section and then there's a pathfinding movement section. So sometimes you'll be looking here for the thing, but it's actually like lower down. And it's this move along path command that you want. So every 0.1 seconds, we're going to find a path to the player. And then once it's found that path, it will move along it. And now you will see that my enemy is like moving around the fences rather than just running through them and stuff. Like it's actually being kind of smart. My enemy is like rotating towards where I am, so I don't want it to do that. So under the with your enemy selected, under the pathfinding behaviors on the left hand side, you can change things like its speed. So I want it to move a little bit slower, actually. I want it to be maybe 100. And I want its rotate speed to be... well, we can ignore that because I'm just going to uncheck this rotate object. And now you'll see he sort of moves around and he'll run all the way around the fence to like try get to me. And then he'll come up and in and chase me. But he's not actually doing anything to me right now. So he's overlapping me, but he's not dealing any damage. So I'm actually going to create a new group. And I'm going to call this enemy. And I'm going to drag these two down, actually, into the enemy section. And then I'm going to add an event to enemy. And I'm going to do enemy is overlapping another object. And I'm going to select my player. And I'm going to do the same as what I'm doing in the bear trap. So I'm going to select... I don't want the destroy one. I just want these. So I'm going to hold control so I can select multiple. And I'm going to copy. Select that and paste. But I don't want it to subtract 50. I want it to subtract, let's say, 25. So I'm going to have 25 taken away every time I'm hit. And then we need to click on here, right click, add another condition. Player is flashing. And we need to invert that. Same way we did for this bear trap up here. Because we want it so that while our invincibility frames are not active, we can only be hit at that point. So now, when he comes and hits me, I flash, I lose some health, and I'm like invincible for a little bit. And then we've got an enemy that's killed us. And that's how we make a basic pathfinding enemy.